Hello, my friends. Another Astrological Voyages show with Christos Archos, live from Athens, Greece, and we are going to talk about the great November, a great month with great chances and great opportunities. And I think this is a great month for everyone in order to change and deal with everyday situations. I think this is a great month for everyone to really take his power back, to recover and change perhaps his life. I think we are going to be really happy with all of these chances and abilities we have in order to really understand what really happens and how we can really absorb all this energy that is going to help us to make our life better. And I think this is a great situation that is going to help us a lot. First of all, let's start and talk about this new moon that is already affecting us. And this new moon that happens today, 28th of October 2018, although for Greece we are already in 29th of October because this is 1 a.m. I'm always speak to you at 1 a.m. in order to catch up with the Americans also. So looking at this new moon, as we already said, this is a very powerful signature of tension, of power, and of change. But on the other hand, this is also a great new moon that brings a lot of change in the first decade of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And as you can see, you have planets in the third, fourth, and the fifth degree of those signs. You are going to have a lot of changes, and on the other hand we have this severe change of this square between Mars and Saturn, which is not very good. Of course, it is an increase of obstacles, also of some accidents, and you need really to be careful in how you talk and how you communicate with others, because it is always an aspect that is going to bring a lot of tension to the people, and you really need to be very careful in order to how you are communicating with the others, because you may have some severe problems in your life. But on the other hand, we can say that this is a very powerful new moon, because it's going to help us a lot in doing new things in our life. But also this is always about conflict, war, and several problems in our everyday life. We have already had some great moments in mundane astrology. We had the killing of an ISIS leader, and I think all of the astrologers, we already talked about several things that were going to happen in Syria, and how in how much detail all of the astrologers were speaking about the conflict and the current Turkey attack and how that stopped, and also how we had so much great events and changes in that region. We are expecting even more things to be revealed in the next days, because this new moon is great in revealing things and giving some tension to international affairs. So we have already, of course, predicted 100% that we would not have a Brexit in the 31st of October 2019. We were completely sure about that, and we were already talk about that you cannot do something like that by having a Mercury retrograde planet. So we were 100% sure that we would not have a Brexit, and was a success. And we talk about it in some previous shows. You can go back to ISAR page and you can look all the videos back, and you can see that we were exact that we will not have any kind of Brexit during in October, November. So we are going to talk about later about Brexit, but let's go and talk about the Mercury retrograde situation, the 31st of October, I'm always not very fond in talking about Mercury retrograde, because usually we are talking like the word stops. I'm always trying to give to my clients a more calm and more mature way of understanding what this Mercury retrograde really wants from us. From me, from my point of view, Mercury retrograde is that I'm tired and I need to sleep, and my organ, myself, all the organism, the living organism, really need to rest. So this Mercury retrograde really gives us a signal that we need to get rest, we need to relax, and we need to be very calm in our life. And I think this is the major important message of this Mercury being retrograde, that we really need to change the way we are working every day in our life. And I believe that if we do that, we are going to feel really safe. So, okay, yes, don't start new things. Do not sign any important papers. Do not start any important things in your life. But you really need to understand what happened in your life in the last months, and there is a great opportunity to reevaluate and understand better the things in your life. Of course, for Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius of the second and the third decade, this is a great opportunity, because you will have the ability in order to understand what really happens in your life, but also this is going to bring some relationships from the past. So if you are into coming back to a relationship that for some reason ended in the past, this is a great opportunity if you are Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancer of the third and the second decade, to do again this relationship and also be very happy about it. And I think this is of great importance if you really want to do that, because this is a great opportunity in creating a new relationship or giving back a chance to a relationship that was not having a good end. And let's start and talk about what is going to happen in this November. And we can start by the 1st of November, and we have this entrance of Venus in Sagittarius. And I think this is going to bring a lot of emotional chances and a lot of affairs for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius of the first decade. And slowly it's going to bring a lot of chances and opportunities to the second and the third decade of these signs. Of course, Venus in Sagittarius is always great on having fun, traveling, and communicating and sharing ideas. And I think this is a much better Venus than the one was in Scorpio, because Venus in Scorpio is very hard and difficult, and you cannot manage all of this powerful situation. And then we are having on the 2nd of November another great aspect which I found very interesting. We have this Venus forming a semi-square with Saturn, which is always a separation aspect. This is probably an aspect of crisis for Capricorns, and especially if you belong to the second decade and you have planets in the 14, 15 and the 16th degree of Capricorn and of Cancer, and you may have some bad mood, or you may feel that there is a difficulty in expressing your emotions, and of course some financial problems may arise that you need to be careful, especially if you have planets in 0 degree of Sagittarius. And then we have this parallel in the 4th of November between Mercury and Venus, and I think this needs to be seen with the previous conjunction of Mercury and Venus in the 31st of October, when Mercury also turns retrograde. I think in the 4th of November, we may have a form of a new relationship, and there is a great chance for people to have great opportunities and deal with their everyday problems. I think this is a great aspect if you want to do business, and also you are going to find some new friends and you may be really charming. Try to communicate with people you don't know, and I think you're really going to feel very happy about what happens in your life. On the 5th of November 2019, we are going to have a strong square between Mars and Pluto. This is always an aspect of abuse, emotional or physical abuse. If you are having a relationship with a person, a partner, that is abusive, you really need to be very careful and you need to protect yourself. Also, try not to be alone in places that you are not very safe, because this is always a situation being under the gun, and of course this is always a very negative aspect that's going to bring a lot of abuse, violence, and sometimes very negative actions. So you really need to be very careful, especially if you have planets around the 19, 20, and 21 degree of the cardinal signs: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And also you are having this parallel between Saturn and Pluto, which is always an aspect of dealing with severe crisis. And I think this is the beginning of the current Saturn-Pluto conjunction cycle that is going to begin permanently in this January 2020. This Saturn-Pluto conjunction parallel, is going to start a period in mountain astrology of big struggles and a lot of conflict, and we may have a lot of unfortunate deaths among nations, because the international affairs are really going to go severe, and we may have small wars of some disasters around the world, around this region, around this period, and perhaps we may have some semi-square with Pluto. This is always an aspect that we need to be careful, because it's about possessiveness and jealousy. So if you have planets on the first decade of Sagittarius, especially around the 5th degree of Sagittarius, and in the 19, 20, and 21 degree of Capricorn, you may have problems with jealousy. And on the other hand, there is always a possibility for a lot and great and very strong emotions in your daily life, something that may create problems in how you handle your emotion situation. And of course we have on the 7th of November 2019 this semi-square between Mars and Venus. This is always an aspect that you may form a relationship, especially if you have planets around the 6, 7, and 8 degree of Sagittarius, and also in the 21, 22, and 23 degrees of Libra. But on the other hand, this is always an aspect that may be conflict around your personal relationships, and this is always an aspect that you really need to be care about what happens in your everyday life. And then we go on the 8th of November in 2019, and we have this Sun forming a sextile with Saturn. This is always an aspect of understanding, and if you have planets around the 14, 15, and the 16th degree of Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, and Capricorn, you may have the ability to change your life, and also to have some great responsibilities that through the completion of these responsibilities, you are going to have an increase also of your reputation. And at the same time, we're having this Sun forming a trine with Neptune, which is a great aspect for the watery signs, and Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces of the second decade. They are going to feel very happy and complete in their emotional lives, and I think this is always an aspect of spirituality, of mysticism, of understanding how we are dealing with our everyday life. And I think that this is always an aspect of compassion and in giving your emotions to the other people. And again, we have in this 8th of November 2019, another great day, because we are having a lot of aspects. We have this parallel between Venus and Saturn, and also this parallel between Venus and Pluto. This is going to be really intense, and of course you need to be very careful in how you handle your financial situations. And if you play in a stock exchange, you really need to be careful, and this is always an aspect of endings in emotional relationships. On the other hand, we have this Saturn forming a sextile with Neptune. This is always an aspect that is going to bring a lot of realism and a lot of success in dealing with your everyday life, and you may end a great project that is going to bring you a lot of happiness and a lot of complete and a lot of and a sense of being complete, because this is a great aspect in making you being happy. And let's go a little further, and we can go to the 9th of November 2019. We have this Mercury having a sextile with Pluto. I think this is a great aspect because it's going to bring a lot of success in Taurus, Scorpio and Cancer, Capricorn around the 19th, 20th and 21 degree. This is always an aspect on being something great in your life, and also understanding hidden meanings and projects, and you may reveal something great in your life, and you may feel great in your everyday situation. And then we have this moon entering on Taurus on the 10th of November, that is going to bring a lot of happy moments for Taurus and Scorpio. On the other hand, we have a full moon on the 12th of November 2019, and we can see this full moon because this is a great full moon. It's going to help a lot some specific signs, and this is a full moon that is going to bring a lot of emotional success, and you may have a new relationship if you belong to the second decade of Taurus and Scorpio, but also you may feel very complete in your business situation if you belong to the sign of Leo and Aquarius. And at the same time, we have this square between Venus and Neptune, which is not very good for the mutable signs of the second decade. You may have a problem in your everyday life, and also you may form a relationship that is not very good. So this is an aspect you really need to be careful. On the other hand, exactly at the time of the full moon, we have the sextile between Mars and Jupiter. This is always an aspect of being complete, of success, of the fighter of the light, and you can really do something, and you may feel really happy in your life. And this is always an aspect of being complete, happy and successful in your everyday situations. And I think this is a great aspect if you really want to do something in your life. So I think this full moon is great because it's going to bring a lot of happiness and a lot of sense of being complete in your life, and a lot of happy moments may happen around this full moon. This is a great emotional and complete full moon for a lot of people, especially if you belong to the end of the second decade of Taurus, Scorpio and also Capricorn and Cancer. So let's go forward to the next aspect, and this is on the 13th of November 2019, and this sextile between Mercury and Saturn is going to bring a lot of success in writing things, but also is great on dealing with everyday problems. This Mercury sextile Saturn aspect is going to help a lot the Scorpio, Taurus and Capricorn Cancer axis around the 15th, 16th and 17th degree. This is a great aspect in dealing with your everyday life, and at the same time we are having this sextile between Sun and Pluto, which is always a great aspect if you want to deal with money, if you want to deal with business, and also in finding meaning. And this is also a great aspect in found leadership and being a leader and find success in your leadership. and doing your leadership skills in a very fascinating way. And at the same time, we are having this Mercury forming a tring with Neptune on the 30th of November, which is always an aspect of idealism, about art, about being an artist, about being mysterious, and also about being complete, and also about being a fool in your life and being conscious. This is a great aspect about your emotional situation in your everyday life. And as we said before, on the 14th of November, we are having this exact square between Venus and Neptune. This is not a good aspect for the mutable signs of the second decade around the 14, 15 and 16 degree. If you are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces, this is always a problematic aspect, and you may have problems in dealing with real life, and also you may find some manipulative people or people that are telling you lies, and you really need to be very careful. On the other hand, we have this Sesqui square between Venus and Uranus on the 16th of November 2019. This is always a problem with money, and you may lose some money if you belong in the second decade of Sagittarius and also in the first decade of Taurus. On the other hand, we have this Mars entering Scorpio on 19th of November 2019. This is always a position of passion, of love, of greatness, of being successful. If you belong to Cancer, you may have a very passionate relationship, or you may have a success in bringing a new child in the world. Also, this is always a great position for Scorpios, because you may feel very successful and full of energy on doing things. And Pisces, you may feel very intense, and you may have great success on doing things in your everyday life and also in giving exams, and you may feel very successful in your results. Also, this is always a period of tension and conflict for Taurus, and Leos, you may have problems in your home life, while on the other hand, Aquarians, you may feel that you are very pushed in your career and you don't have time to do anything else. And then we have another aspect on the 20th of November 2019. This is a Sesqui square between Mars and Neptune. You may feel ill, or you not have a lot of faith in yourself. This is always about being very sensitive, and also about doing errors in your actions, or even your instincts guide you in the wrong way. If you are a Scorpio in the 0 degree or a Pisces in the 15 degree, you really need to be very careful. On the other hand, Mercury goes direct in the 20th of November 2019. This is always a great position in dealing with everyday things, and a lot of people that they have in the natal chart Mercury direct, you may feel very happy. Don't forget, and this is very important, I'm always saying that to the people, don't forget that when you are having Mercury retrograde in your natal chart, the period that you have Mercury retrograde in transits is always great for you. It is going to help you a lot. And of course, on the 22nd of November, we have this Sun entering Sagittarius. Happy birthday, my fellow Sagittarians. I hope you're going really well. And then on the 24th of November, we have this Venus forming a conjunction with Jupiter. What a great aspect for the third decade of mutable signs. And this is always an aspect of optimism, and also about being cerebral and about doing things and having money and forming a new relationship and dealing with everyday matters in your life. But on the other hand, while the mutable signs are going to feel very happy, there is a very strong and a bad opposition between Mars and Uranus. This Mars-Uranus opposition is about having conflict, accidents and problems in your everyday life. And if you have planets in the first decade of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius, you may feel that you have severe problems in your life. Also, we have the semi-square between Sun and Saturn on the 24th of November. This is an aspect of having problems and obstacles in your everyday life, and also having obstacles on dealing with your profession and your career. If you belong in the second degree of Sagittarius or in the 7th degree of Capricorn, you may have some problems in dealing with your everyday life. And on the 25th of November 2018, Venus is entering the sign of Capricorn. This is an aspect, this is a position that is going to bring a lot of luck to Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. A lot of new relationships, money matters and a lot of business may arise. On the other hand, also Cancer is going to feel very happy and is going to form also some new alliances and new business deals or a new relationship in your life. And then we have this new moon on the 26th of November 2019, and this new moon I think is very good. This is a happy new moon. This is a moon about joy, being complete and doing things. A lot of signs that are going to feel very happy, and I think this is a very good new moon. If you want to do things in your life and if you want to change what you're really doing right now, and I think this is always a great situation if you really want to do something new in your life, or travel abroad, or doing something new about yourself and how you're dealing with your profession. I think this is a great new moon, and it's going to bring a lot of chances for the mutable signs, Geminis, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. This is of the first decade, around the 3rd, 4th and 5th degree of these signs. You are going to feel very happy with what you're doing. And then we're having this Neptune going direct in the 27th of November. Neptune being direct, this is always a great aspect, a great position in reaching spirituality, especially if you belong to the second decade of Pisces. And talking about spirituality, we are having again this Mercury trine Neptune on the 28th of November. This is always about psychic intuition, about consciousness, about meditation, about learning secrets and about developing yourself. Also, we are having this Venus forming a trine with Uranus, an opportunity for a new relationship for Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, but also an increase in money, and also new friends or lovers may come in your life. And on the end, on the 13th of November 2019, we are having this Mercury forming a sextile with Saturn. This is always about dealing with everyday life, about having the right decisions and being successful in a plan, and always about bringing success to your ambitions. Talking and giving a summary, we can understand that this is a great month. This is a month full of opportunities, especially for Taurus and Scorpio, about Gemini and Sagittarius, and of course about Virgo and Pisces. Those three axes are going to feel very happy and very complete with what they are going to succeed in this month, and I think more are going to happen in the next months. And don't forget, of course, that this Mercury being retrograde is not bad at all. This is going to bring a lot of information about how we are dealing with our past, but also in how we understand things in our everyday life. And I think that this November is about understanding and about forming new relationships. all of the earth and water signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Cancer, Scorpion, Pisces, both of these 6 signs, airy and earth signs, are going to feel very happy and very complete, and they are going to have a lot of chances in dealing with their financial matters and also about their personal relationships. And I think this is a great opportunity in understanding what is the reason why you are given problems and why there are obstacles in your life. Something I think that is going to help you a lot in getting out from a prison, and financial prison or an emotional prison. Either way, you are going to feel really complete and really happy this November, and I hope you are going to follow my predictions and try to do things, risk about things, and try to change your life, because this is a great month in dealing with your past and getting out from problematic situations. And at the end, I'm just going to speak about 2 charts which I found really important. The first chart is about the killing of the ISIS leader. Let me show this chart. We have already talked about the crisis that was going to happen in Syria, and this chart speaks about the severe changes that were going to happen to the region. We will already talk about how this opposition and the current new moon in Scorpio was going to talk about killings and severe changes in the situation around Syria, and we were 100% right in our prediction. And also I want to talk about the upcoming next Brexit, which I think is great to talk about that also. And as you know, we have already talked before 2 shows that we would not have a Brexit on the 31st of October, and a European Union said to us that the next Brexit is going to be on the 31st of January 2020. And we can see that even now we cannot speak directly that something is going to change a lot, because again we can see that Mercury is in a position that is not going to bring a lot of changes. And I think that the problem around the end of January of 2020 is not going to be a Brexit, but I think European Union and other regions around the world are going to have a lot more other problems than the Brexit. And as I said also in my Greek shows, the Brexit is not going to be a hard Brexit. It is going to be something like being on the European Union and at the same time not being on the European Union. So like being a soft alliance between European Union and United Kingdom. And we are going to see that on the 31st of January 2020, where exactly on what would going to happen during that period. And we are going to see also in the 31st of January 2020 that we're not going to have a hard Brexit, but it is going to be like forming a new kind of alliance between European Union and United Kingdom, something that is going to bring those 2 regions much closer at the end than being separate, because as we know from the January 2020 we are going to have severe changes in our life, and society and mundane things around the world are going to change a lot, and we really need to be very careful in how we are dealing with our everyday situations, because we are going to have severe changes in the mundane level from the January 2020 and afterwards. I don't want to take more from your time. Just take some notes about the upcoming great aspects that they are going to affect us this November. I hope you are going to have a great month, all of my fellows, friends from the International Society for Astrological Research. I am Christos Achos. It was another Astrological Voyages show. Thank you very much for your time, and we're going to have another great show next Monday. Thank you very much, and be well, and have close, very close, your loved ones. Bye bye, and thank you again for your time.